Well, I hope that this particular riff doesn't sound like somebody else's. Oh, hi there. Welcome to another video from Barrel Bottom Reviews. I'm your host, Brian Kish. You know, you just caught me in my songwriting process. I'm a musician. So, one of the great things about MoviePass, besides them constantly changing their terms of service, is that you get to see some classics with your card. One of those was Liquid Sky, a movie I've been hearing about for years. It's a indie classic, a head trip. It's something you kind of got to see after you see that name for a few times, so that's exactly what I did. I saw it in the flesh, and I'm going to tell you about it. I got to get out of here, but I'll see you at the end of the video. Liquid Sky is a sci-fi fantasy cult film from 1982, directed by, co-written, and produced by Russian independent filmmaker Slava Tuskerman. It features a rather loose plot about a group of late-night party animals, something akin to the Club Kids or Andy Warhol's factory of self-enthralled druggies, but also punk subculture and 80s New York City nightclub culture. And we basically follow these characters around, specifically Anne Carlisle, who plays two main characters, both a male and female. And there's also aliens watching everything go down, but we never really see what they look like, and very dated and awful electronic music plays throughout. I think you'll know within the first 10 minutes or so whether or not you're gonna like this movie, and yet I had to stop halfway through and try again months later, and then finally a week again after that in a theater in the Lower East Side where originally it saw its heyday. It's rather a rough viewing, for better or for worse. It's truly one that runs on attitude, instinct, and style. This for sure is the sort of movie that hasn't aged so well, like in the same category of Cruisin'. Well, beginning with the positive impact the film has had, one can't discount the fact that this was the most commercially successful indie film of 1982, which is certainly an achievement. But I can't help but see this movie as a perfect example of something that's made to be wallpaper, almost like a sideshow to something these characters would have at one of their fashion shows. The film surely has a voyeuristic quality to it, with the abrasive scraping noise accompanying some cuts from shot to shot. Voyeuristic also, since much of the film seems to come from the perspective of these unidentified aliens. I like the idea of aliens traveling across the galaxy to obtain some killer horse, but apart from that, this movie would have been much more rewarding with a bit of a rewrite and more stylistic filmmaking. If anything, it should be more campy and overtly comical than it is. Strangely enough, this movie is usually praised for its cinematography and imaginative visuals, most of which goes right over my head, but it would also help to think of the film as being part of a time and place and a movement. I would say above all else, there's incredibly stilted, wandering dialogue and direction, questionable acting, the unlikability of any of the characters, and the increasingly mostly no-frills visuals with only a few notable exceptions. The thing most annoying about the film is the music. Very primitive synth music is fine, but there's specific music I'm referring to that's used to illustrate that the aliens are watching in. It's the same reoccurring, extremely high-pitched loop that'll make your ears want to go soak in some sulfuric acid. The incessant backing music sounds like outtakes of The Residents, except their cats played and mixed everything. This is exactly the sort of movie that I truly want to like. The dialogue is beyond lame and corny, with mostly amateur delivery. I'm not sure why the editing decision was made to constantly cut around to multiple conversations happening simultaneously, often with reoccurring music cues that don't serve much purpose. It just all feels so disjointed on purpose, but still not done in a way that's appealing or transcendent. More just obnoxious. This is exactly the type of movie that would be reassessed nowadays and decided that it's chic and campy and whatnot instead of just sort of embarrassing. But once again, that's not to knock the supreme influence and acclaim this film has gotten over time, which is somewhat surprising considering how esoteric it is. Our characters talk almost exclusively about orgasms, drugs, and aliens. I know it sounds awesome, but it isn't. Yeah, this was just not the psychedelic head trip I was hoping for. Honest to God, I find a movie like The Monkey's Head to be a bit more watchable, because at least it keeps moving along. This one just keeps going on. Watch for the cultural significance. This one truly isn't for everyone. Well, it all looked great in 4K restoration, and Anne Carlisle gave a great dual performance, but it just didn't really come together for me. Everyone else in the theater seemed to be really enjoying themselves, and I seemed to just not be a part of this club. I tried, guys, I tried. Well, let me know what you think of this new format here of intercutting between live action and then just pictures. And, you know, what movie do you want to see me review next? If you can call it that. I have to go off camera now. I have to go. Stay sexy.